segment, and for that I'm joined by Catherine Nicholson. Hello, Catherine. Okay. Now, here in Paris, French and Chinese cultural stars have come together for one night, a spectacular show at the Grand Palais. Why is that?
Well, it was for two reasons, really. Fundamentally, it's been 50 years of Franco-Chinese diplomatic relations, officially. So an official celebration, and the Prime Minister was present at this event. And it's also, on Friday, Chinese New Year, so a double celebration. Now, we're going to be passing from the Year of the Snake to the Year of the Horse. I'm sure you're up on your Chinese years, Claire.
Can't remember which one I am, though.
I think I'm a rooster, unfortunately.
But
one particularly fitting bit of entertainment for the Year of the Horse, as you can see on your screens, is this horse theatre. And this is all designed by a Frenchman called Bartabas. And he said that for this particular show, he took inspiration from China's legendary terracotta army. Now, there are also shaolin monks, ballet dancers, circus performers, all sorts of wonderful artistry from China. And there was also, on the musical side, a pianist, Wu Muye, who was another highlight. He played a piece by the Franco-Polish composer Chopin for more cultural crossovers. So both he and Bartabas told on our show's Sonia Patricelli who they're influenced by artistically out of each other's cultures.
Paris represents French culture, European culture, but also Beijing. There are pockets of Chinese culture in the city, so I try to find what we have in common, and at the same time try to be an ambassador for this culture.
It's an image that really struck me, even in my youth, because we found the tomb of an entire Chinese army in clay. And through this very sacred image of frozen people that we made move first a little bit and then gradually more frenetically, we symbolise how we live today, how life is accelerated worldwide.
Let's stay with cultural diplomacy of sorts. Tell us, how is Youssou N'Dour hoping to become a musical peacemaker?
Well, he wants to bring a message of peace to the Central African Republic. Now, Youssou N'Dour is a musical legend. He's from Senegal, very, very popular in Africa and beyond. People of our age, Claire, we might remember him best from the mid-1990s when he teamed up with Nena Cherry, and he charted pretty well in Europe and in the States.
Makes me feel old.
It's a long time ago. But now he's more on the political side. He's more of a sort of a demonstrator, liberal message giver, so to speak. And he wants to foster understanding between religions. Now, he's Muslim, and he's teamed up with a Christian singer, Lydie Natasha, and we've heard from him explaining how he came up with this idea.
When I see these images of Muslims and Christians fighting in the same country, in the same land, I just want to tell them that it's not an obstacle to have different religions, but rather a benefit to cherish. I think music allows us to take shortcuts. We can participate to bring peace in this country that is so dear to us.
Now, back here in Europe, a new opera version of Brokeback Mountain is premiering tonight. Is that based on the film?
Well, it's actually based on the short story that later inspired the film, although, of course, the film is much more famous, this tale of forbidden love between two cowboys in Wyoming in the 1960s. It went on to win 3 Oscars in 2006. But yes, tonight, the premiere of the opera version of Brokeback Mountain is happening at the Teatro Real in Madrid. Now, the music's all composed by the American composer Charles Warrenen, and the author of Brokeback Mountain, the original story, is Annie Proulx. She's completely given her blessing to this, and she even wrote the libretto for it. So she has been telling us that adapting her story to an opera actually worked out a little bit better than you might imagine.
Long phrases are not the way that Western men speak. There were never any long phrases in the story, and so the dialogue from the story was perfect, just as it was. Just pick it up and move it to the opera.
And finally, tributes are coming in for folk music legend Pete Seeger.
Yeah, that's right. This is the man who wrote If I Had a Hammer, Turn, 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 Where Have All the Flowers Gone, all these quite hippie, lovely, simple folk songs from many, many years back. Now, we did learn today that he died in hospital in New York at the age of 94. Now, this is a man who had played with all sorts of legendary musicians. Right back in the 1940s, he played with Woody Guthrie. And he's seen as a man who opened the way for the likes of Bob Dylan in the 1960s and the sort of the new folk revival. Throughout his career, he himself was known for challenging the status quo. He performed plenty of protest songs. So, as well as drawing tributes from lots of musicians, he's also getting tributes from the likes of Billy Bragg, another protest musician, and Michael Moore, the protest filmmaker. He generally offered quite a liberal message of non-violence, environmentalism, and throughout his life he kept himself involved in big events. In 2009 he performed at a concert marking Barack Obama's inauguration, and we can hear from him speaking in 2009.
I tell people nobody can prove a thing, but obviously if I didn't think music could help save the human race, I wouldn't be making music.
And that's it for Culture. Thank you very much, Catherine. Time now for our wrap of the day.